welcome back to Desert Have a Garden. Today I am in a different location. This is our home away from home. So we have our home in the low desert where we're at an elevation of just about 500 feet above sea level, and it is super hot there in the summer, but we have really nice mild winters. Well, here we ended up securing a property about, 7 years ago for super cheap. We have 40 acres and we practically stole it based on the price, but we have always had this dream of being farmers someday. And so you've probably noticed that with our gardens and everything, and trying to make sure that we keep that going despite our challenges. Well, someday we want to retire and be farmers, and that may happen before we're elderly. Hopefully it will, but in the meantime we secured some property and we have been slowly working on it ever since. So you can see here is our front gate, and let's go check it out. So this property, we bought it unimproved, though it did have this front driveway. It did not have a gate here and there was no fencing, but we had a problem for a little while with some quads riding through the property while we were gone and kind of making a course of it since there was an existing driveway. We just wanted to make it clear that this is private property and we didn't want people riding their quads all over. So we ended up putting a gate here and a little bit of fencing around the front of the property just to discourage that kind of activity. So let's go check it out. So here we are at an elevation of about 5,500 feet, and it is predominantly treed with juniper trees. Now these are an invasive species, and it used to be pinyon pines that grew here, but apparently many years ago the junipers came in, and that's about all we have on this property now. On the back side of the 40 acres we have a couple pinyon pines, but it is mostly juniper trees. So here is one of our first projects we had started working on, and this is where we have our well. So we hit water at about 260 feet, and we continued on to about 300 feet just to ensure that we will continually have water here. It flows super fast, it's very clean, it is wonderful water, if not hard water. Then we got a big tank over here just to make sure that we could have reserves of that water and store it there so it doesn't pump all the time. And then we started building a block well house around it, and you can see that it's not finished, but we did start it, and block work is definitely labor intensive, so we'll continue working on that in the future and hopefully get it finished. Another of our earlier projects was making this tiny cabin, and that's actually what we stayed in the early days of having our property. So we would have a place out of the wind to stay at night. And you can see we have a couple solar panels hooked up there that charge the batteries. So we do have a porch light on the little cabin. Now it has turned into a storage shed as we have a fifth wheel parked up here. Here we have our outdoor kitchen that we used to use, but now again not so much. But at some point when we have our cabin built, hopefully we will have an outdoor kitchen where we can do a lot of our cooking. Another important improvement for us was our septic tank. So we have our septic tank installed, as well as our leach lines, so we are getting really close to being ready to build a cabin. We went through a long, difficult process of getting the septic tank approved with our local county. That was quite the headache, but it did actually involve having to get department heads involved and county supervisors involved, but eventually they approved it as it was built. So that is in. That was one big obstacle for us. And we actually have since gotten our building permit to build our cabin, but that leads me to another challenge that we had along the way. We'll come over here to where our basement hole is dug. So this property, it turns out that it has a whole lot of rock under the soil. So we have a couple feet of topsoil, and then below the topsoil we have substantial rock. And that obviously led to a problem when we were building our basement. So this basement took a heck of a lot of work and a lot of time. It took several months of our weekend's efforts in order to build this basement whole. We used our backhoe in order to do it, and as many other tricks as we could possibly find. But here it is finally done. So we're actually getting ready today to start marking out the footings according to our plans so we can call for our first inspection. As with all do-it-yourself projects, there's work to be done. So here we have a couple of pallets of block that we've brought down. We bring our supplies just a little bit at a time as we can carry them on the trailer. And so today we need to stack from the trailer over into the block pile. So what we do is we'll have one person up on the trailer handing blocks down, another person receiving them, and then stacking them over onto an empty pallet for over here. So let's get started. Over here we have a small garden area, and actually there's not much going on here. It looks like it's just the asparagus ferns that are still growing. We expanded the garden area last year, but we didn't end up actually planting anything in there. We used a tall chain link dog run to expand that. And we do have this part of the garden irrigated. You can see the white PVC pipe there. So it is irrigated underground from the well, or actually the storage tank. So someday we hope to expand this whole area here into a bigger garden. You see this is kind of like a cleared area. There's the backhoe there, which brings us over to the storage container we also had brought up here. And the storage container is super handy for putting all of our tools and building materials as we're using them. Gives us a safe way to keep everything stored. Okay, so we ended up getting both pallets of blocks unloaded, and our neighbors actually were going into town, which is about 35 miles away, in order to get some more supplies from Lowe's for their project, and so they picked up 2 more pallets for us. So now we have a total of 11 pallets here, and I think we need 13 in order to complete this basement project. And so yesterday we did some more work on the hole that never ends. So what we did is, using the backhoe, we dug out a little bit more space, because over here is where the stairs will be going out into the opening, into the outdoors. You have to legally have 2 exits in order for a basement to be legal. And so one of them will be on this side where we have orange marked. That'll be going inside the dwelling. And then on this side, the stairs will be going out into the opening. Now we used algebra yesterday in order to determine the square, and so it's roped off. I don't think you can see it in the video, but so you use Pythagorean's theorem. Okay, so you use a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And so you take the measurement of the one side, which is 11 feet, and square it. And you take the measurement of the other side, which is 28 feet, and square it. And those two added together gives you your diagonal. And we had to do that a few times to make sure that we got our rectangle perfectly squared, so that the blocks will fit in there perfectly. It's spray painted and it's ready. So what we'll do this week is call for our first inspection in order for the county to come out and give us the okay to move forward on pouring our footings. So this is actually a really exciting time for us. After owning this property for about 7 years, we're finally going to get started on our cabin. So if you liked this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more updates in the future, and we intend to share our cabin build with you here. Have a great one.